of debris. And I remember just like asking myself, what is going on? You know, I was alone and hiding myself in a restroom of a parking garage. And I was just sitting there shaking and saying, hey, what is going on? What is going on? You know? I wasn't prepared for something like this to happen. It was a beautiful day, by the way. I mean, I tell you, the sun was out. Like, it was a crisp, clear day. You wouldn't imagine something like this would happen on a nice day like that. So after that, about 30, 40 minutes after that, I just sat in the bathroom. I started walking outside. When I walked outside, I remember bumping into, I took my tie, I had a tie on, and I tied it around my nose and my mouth because you can taste the concrete. You can taste the steel bits, the steel debris in the air. I must have ate so much of it that I was full because I was eating it in gulps. So I had my tie tied around my face to try, and you couldn't see anything. Everything was in a thick layer of smog, like concrete powder. You couldn't even see the sun at that point. There was no sun at all because everything was just covered in soot, you know? So I remember bumping into a lawyer. I mean, right now I can't recall what he looks like, but I remember bumping into a lawyer and was like, what the heck is going on? You know, like everyone just saying, what the heck is going on? And, we're New Yorkers, so, we were a little bit more foul-mouthed than that. But we walked into a bar. And they sealed the doors behind us. They were nice enough to let us in. I don't even remember what bar. We just found a bar to hide ourselves in, me and this lawyer, an elderly gentleman. And I remember the line to use the phone was, like 15 people. So everyone called their loved ones from the payphone. And I remember the bar giving us free shots, drinks on the house. And we were just watching on TV the second building come down, So, and then after about 2 hours, I remember the Coast Guard or I don't know what, I think it was the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard said, we walked outside when it started to clear up a little bit. And I had gone to the ATM real quick just to retrieve some money. And the Coast Guard said, anyone heading back to New Jersey, and I wanted to go to my parents' house, anyone going to New Jersey, you can take the boat and we'll send you to Jersey City. So I remember getting to Jersey City, and before we got on the boat, they didn't know if it was a chemical bomb or they didn't know what it was. So I remember being hosed down by the fire truck. Hosed down. I had a nice suit on still, and I was hosed down from head to toe. Everything was hosed down. So I was soaking wet on a boat going to Jersey City. And then my friends had picked me up who lived in Midtown. They also got across back to New Jersey. And I remember them picking me up in I think it was a Sebring, Chevrolet Sebring. I forget what it was, but it was a convertible top. And I remember they said, what do you want to eat? I said, I want ice cream and I want gambas. I want shrimp gambas in garlic. And they took me to their Portuguese restaurant. And I just ate ice cream and had a little meal. And then they took me home to my parents' house. So that was basically my day. Okay. How did the trauma of the devastating incident affect me after witnessing? Like I said, I basically
living every day like it's your last.
Well, I lost it for a bit, and I tell you, when I lived every day like it was my last, people can't fathom what I was doing. I lived like the Prince of New York. I was out clubbing every night. Like I said, I was flying to Vegas on Thursday nights. I would take trips to Monaco. I knew everyone in the nightlife industry. They called me the CEO, the Chief Entertainment Officer. And I knew probably half the models in New York. And, I was basically every day socializing with people. That was my second job, let's say. But I knew that at some point I was going into a downward spiral, and I knew that I had to come back down to earth, basically. But it was a traumatic experience. But I knew that with a good family background and some good guidance from people, people said, "Hey, George, you got to slow down a little bit. You're really going 110 miles every day, and you're just going too fast." And I'm sure they were right. How did the people behind, how did the people around me react? Everyone was in a panic. I didn't really feel panic. I kind of walked. Like I said, I was walking away from when this incident happened. It was like a movie. You just felt like you're in a movie because it felt very surreal. Everyone was running. People were running everywhere. People were panicked. But I guess I wasn't aware of my surroundings. I just kind of walked away from it. So, I wasn't running. I didn't really panic because, like I said, I was just watching something that's just so surreal. It was you were just kind of like observing, and you couldn't believe this was happening, especially in New York. That's why I told you it felt like a movie, like they were filming an action movie. Do I have video footage or pictures? Yes, and I would love to share them with you at a later time. The only picture that I have right now, and I started looking, was that picture within that poem that a friend of mine wrote for me. And that picture was taken by me outside that deli, outside the World Trade Center. If I do find any, I will definitely send them along.
Thank you.
Did I retain any long-lasting effects from the accident? I think I was fatigued from talking about it. We call it, 9/11 fatigue. I spoke about it had so much in the years following that I don't think that there's long-lasting effect. I try to put it behind me. And one thing is, I never dwell on the past. I learn from my experiences, and I'm still learning from my experiences, every day, and I'm still trying to improve, still trying to be a better person. But this is one of the times in my life that I've almost lost my life. Another time was when I had a car accident that flipped a couple times, and it wasn't a scratch on me. And another time was I was in China, and at that time there was people harvesting body parts, So I think someone had put something in my drink. But anyway, this is one of the times that I had nearly lost my life. So I'm very appreciative of every day that I'm still here.
Okay. How was experiencing this firsthand different from how the media portrayed this accident?
I'm sorry, say that again?
How was experiencing this firsthand different from how the media portrayed this accident?
The media portrayed this as a way to rally America against Iraq or Afghanistan or, the Middle East. But it wasn't like that. For us, it was just a little bit scary. It wasn't something that I wish upon anyone else. It's not something that I'm not saying that I could have controlled it. I don't regret this happening to me because it's made me who I am today. It's made me seize control of my destiny. It's made me, like I said, start companies at 26. And it's made me want to do more with my life than my peers, because I don't have this fear if I'll fail or not. If I fail, I don't dwell on the past. I just keep moving forward, so that I don't regret this happening to me at all. But how did the media portray this? I think it was a way for them to find an excuse to go into Afghanistan and start a war, right? But let me ask you a question, and this may be a little bit something. With all the technology we have, the U.S. government, do you think we could not see two planes not following their route? And if so, why didn't they shoot it down? So, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, they let this happen. This is what I believe. Because you cannot not see on your radars 2 planes, 3 planes. Remember the one that also went to the Pentagon? Yes. So how do you not see them off course? But the government, again, I tell you, needed an excuse to rally the American public to start a war. That's my opinion. So you asked me the question, how does this, experiencing it firsthand, I don't wish this upon anyone. And did the media portray this? They portrayed Giuliani as a hero. He was. I mean, he was there for the New Yorkers. I guess they portrayed it just fine, but they used it, well, like I said, as a method to rally the American public behind it. Because not only was it New Yorkers, it was all of America at that time, right? We were a more unified country at that time. And yeah, I guess that's how I feel about the media portraying this. Has witnessing the accident affected my routines or habits in any way? I never worry about the small things. I know every day will be better than the next. So I never worry about the small things. I never envy other people. I never care about materialism that much. I like, like I said, I just, it's made me more humble. It's made me a more humble person, don't want to be in the spotlight as much, but I don't worry about small things. I know that I don't look back and, everything that's happened in my life from this incident on has shaped me to be who I am today. So I don't wish this upon anyone else, but like I said, I am very extremely appreciative of every day that I have survived. I'm grateful for food on the table. I'm grateful for having another day with my family. I'm grateful to have great people around me, supporting people, and it's taught me to cherish relationships rather than material or things that are not so important in life. It's the people that make this life worthwhile, whether it's your daughters or your family or your loved ones. It's, just being appreciative of what you have is enough. That's what it has taught me, Has it changed my routine? No, I still get up and work out, and I still go to work very early. I work 7 days a week, even though I'm sure I don't have to. I don't think it has changed me who I am. At age 26, I decided to turn my life around. Like I said, after the 9/11 incident, it made me better in some ways. It made me worse in some ways. And worse is that I was out too much. Maybe I would go out and not come home for 3 days. And yes. So I was, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it actually took people who really loved me and cared for me and said, "Hey, George, you really need to slow down." And it was interesting to turn my life around 180. I went from this social person and I started wanting to become more conservative in my life, and wanting to do something better with my life because I saw myself going in a downward spiral. I really was going down in a downward spiral. And I wanted to be better than that. I really wanted to be better than that. And it made me want to go out and see the world. So at 26, I was already living in Bolivia. I was already starting my own company, which was inspecting lumber down in Brazil and Cochabamba, La Paz, Santa Cruz. I was in Arica. So I have experienced a lot of things that no one else at my age or, have ever experienced before. It made me want to, like I told you, skydiving. I've been a few times, maybe 5 or 6 times, just for the heck of it, just to test your wits. And, I lived in Russia before. I've lived on the northern border of China by myself. I lived in Germany. So it opened my eyes to see that there is something beyond New York. So, like I said, this incident made me more fearless. I went by myself, and I wanted to find out more about people. It made me curious. What else is there outside of New York City? Because I lived a very good life in New York City. I had a very good job on Wall Street. I wasn't, I worked for Merrill Lynch before. I worked for good companies before. So this incident really opened my eyes to want to see more and do more and be better. Are there any lessons that I've learned from this accident? Keep learning, keep reading, improve yourself a little bit each day, keep your loved ones close, tell them how much they mean to you. I'm not one of those people that wants to leave my mark in the history of mankind, but at least I'd like to make a good impression or be a reputable impression or a reputable name when I leave this earth, Let me see.
Can you leave a message for the 12th graders to provide some future guidance or words of wisdom?
Are you in 12th grade already?
No. I need to film this for, I also need to film this part for, some assembly video or something.
There's a few things I'd like to tell them. Be humble in life. Because when you're humble, and this is something I didn't understand this until someone told me. When you're rich or you're flamboyant, which I was after 9/11, you don't know who your true friends are. And when you're poor and you're very thrifty with your money, no one wants to be around you. But when you're humble, you can tell who the true people in your life are. So that's one word of advice. Just be humble, Don't think you know it all. Just be humble. The second is, don't look back at the past. Keep moving forward. If I kept dwelling in the past for such an incident like this, Kalin, I'm sure I could have dug myself a hole and just stayed in New York. And I don't know what my life would have been if I didn't encounter something like this. I probably would have just stayed in New York and kept going down my downward spiral, Don't dwell on the past. Keep moving forward, Find the passion, find a hobby, and go with it. And don't have extremely high expectations, because sometimes expectations will let you down. Just be appreciative of everything that you have, Don't go out graduating from college thinking that you're going to have like $150,000 job or $100,000 job. You need experience. You need to put in the effort, day in and day out. I'll be very, very honest with you. From 2001 to 2006, as much as I partied, as much fun as I had, I can say no one has ever, that I know of, has ever had a life like your Uncle George. I'm telling you, I've met Madonna, I've met Prince, I've met so many people, celebrities. And this is all like 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, at this lounge and this club. So like I said, I don't regret anything I've done in my life, but I've never missed one day of school. I've never missed one day of work. Never. Even if I was out till 4:30, 5:30 in the morning, I would take 2 hours of sleep somewhere, and I go to work and arrive at 7:30. This you can verify with any of my colleagues. I never missed one day of work. I never missed one day of school. So being successful is being disciplined, having good foundation, like a good, making an effort every day. You have to make the effort. Having a little bit of pressure and just improving it, just discipline and small efforts every day. That's what makes you successful. So anyway, I thought that maybe this could help you. Not sure, but I thank you for taking the time to listen to my story.
Thank you for letting me interview you.